book-to-bill in C&I and F&H. But I think we're in a better spot coming out of it. We learned a lot from it, and I think we'll be better overall moving forward. You jump back to the P&L on the left on that $2.4 billion worth of sales. We made 29% gross margin, getting close to that 30% threshold, up 190 basis points VPY, so great performance there. Slightly pressured versus QR, the volume we talked about, and some slight freight additional expense there really pressured the overall rate perspective there. Operating margin 11%, so double digits, up 90 basis points versus prior year. Some good SG&A savings in response, cost controls to that top line shortfall, and just not quite enough to get back to the overall dollars we were chasing, but really, really close overall. Should probably be yellow and green. So although a bit pressured VQR, the tools market's getting close to stable and growth. Gross margin getting close to that greater than 30% threshold. And OM is double digits and really good performance VPY from those rate perspectives. So great second quarter and third quarter. Appreciate everybody's efforts there. So we jump to the next slide in terms of outlook overall. If you remember, this is a commitment standpoint. The numbers represent QR and the colors represent our latest outlook versus QR. $2.3 billion, returning to that growth that we talked about, a 2% outlook there. And you see a green Harvey ball, meaning that we see moderate upside really with the really strong performance here in the first month of October. You jump over to the customers, similar dynamic here. Retail perspective, Depot outdoor strength continues, and Lowe's is chasing after a rebate run here in the tool space. We think that the retail market is going to outperform. You jump over to C&I, if you remember, that was -10 going to -8 organic. Really strong out of the gate here in October, ahead of the game. Feel good about where we'll finish here in C&I space. From an F&H, returning the growth up 6%. We do have a yellow-red there. That's mostly driven by a True Value co-op bankruptcy that's been recently announced. We're working to offset that. Canada -2, green Harvey ball. Upside, they see retail and e-com strength there. And then lag market on track to deliver a solid 7% organic growth. You look at the P&L, again, back to the left on that $2.3 billion of sales. We're at that 30% threshold. It is only 30 basis points up prior year. That just shows that the comp, we're basically anniversarying 4 quarters of strength there, but great to return to 30. Yellow-green Harvey ball, the Lowe's rebate run and some promo pressure in F&H and Depot, getting us to the dollars, but slight pressure from a rate perspective. And that carries through down to operating margin. Still great, 11% double digits, 30 basis points versus prior year. So from a focus forward, at least from a finance lens, I'd hit 2. I don't think it's surprising. I'd say we should deliver our forecast commitment as always. And as we just talked about there, revenue's really stabilizing, margin rates are improving, and that momentum is building for us to go and capture market share. I'll skip the second one, but the last one is really get ahead and stay ahead. That'll be our mantra for next year. It's really, you see it embedded here in the quarter, really strong October as we talked about, but how do we carry that over to 2025? 2 bullets really on there I'd call out. Embrace unforeseen headwind mindset is really part of get ahead, stay ahead. Stuff happens. It's about proactively planning for when it will happen, not if, and that puts us in a proactive versus reactive mode. And then finally, be bold, accretive above market growth. It'd be easy if it was just one of them, either accretive growth or above market growth, but we want and need both of them, and we've got the right team here in place. So thank you again for the third quarter. Looking forward to a solid fourth quarter, and I'll turn it back to Jeremy to talk about the strategy to accomplish all of this.
All right, great. Thanks, Brendan. And just wanted to also acknowledge, Brendan, you and your team for all the efforts here over the past couple months, not only helping run the business and make sure we're on track for the third quarter, planning the fourth quarter, and then getting us set for our OP in 2025. A lot going on in your function, and appreciate you and the team leading us very well. Team, we transition here to our commercial strategy, and really wanted to give you a glimpse inside our recent board meeting. We had an opportunity to present as a complete T&O team. Chris Nelson presented the T&O strategy to our board of directors, which was the first consolidated strategy in the new brand-led model. and a really important time to reflect on not only where we've been, but where we're going as a T&O organization. We also had the chance to present functional strategies, supply chain, R&D, engineering, marketing, and commercial strategy to the board of directors, which was a great opportunity to highlight the work that we have planned within our function. By and large, the meeting went really well. Great feedback from the board on the quality of the plan, the direction of the plan, where we're choosing to invest our resources and invest our time and effort, and where we're taking the business moving forward was very well received. A lot of great comments around the best plan that the board had seen in many years, the most consolidated, complete, comprehensive plan, et cetera, which was really great to hear. What we also heard from the board, and one particular board member pointed this out, is that they have seen great plans in the past. They've seen great PowerPoint slides. They've seen great presentations come to the board. Where they feel like we've been challenged and have been less successful is in execution. And they wanted to understand from Chris, ultimately, and his team, how the execution in this strategy was going to be different than prior versions, and how we were going to execute differently and land the plans in the marketplace differently than we had in the past. I believe this is a very fair question and a very fair challenge for our organization, and I personally am very motivated to prove that we have the right plan, the right team, and the right process to go execute in the marketplace and bring that great strategic plan for T&O to life. And that will happen through all of you and your great teams and all of your hard work. In the commercial function, we really have three areas we're going to focus on over the 2025 to 2027 strategic window. You see the three highlighted here on the screen. Really, our vision as a team is to deliver best-in-class commercial execution through capable people, integrated processes, and advanced technology. So those are a lot of fancy words, but really what it says is we're going to execute better this time than we have in prior times, and I firmly believe that's the case. If you flip to the next page, you'll see the first element here, which is commercial execution. And really what we mean by commercial execution in this case is taking all of our many assets as a company, all the great things we have available to us with our brands, with our marketing assets, with our resources, with our human resources and teams, and bringing our strategic plan to life in a very integrated fashion. We would call that an end-to-end fashion. I think previously we've done great work in isolation. We've done great work in silos. We want to make sure that we bring that to life in an integrated fashion and it feels seamless, not only to our organization, but more importantly to our customers and to our end users. We do that for our core product lines. We definitely do that for NPD. We do that for our global brand campaigns. We saw some great evidence here in Brazil, for example, around a global campaign for DeWalt 100 years. Great execution locally in stores. We saw great digital activation, bringing the 100-year message to life in a very integrated fashion across the entire marketplace. That's what we want to do for all of our upcoming campaigns. That's what we want to do for NPD through commercial assets, sampling, our launch kits, every aspect of our business we want to have integrated and feel very seamless and end-to-end in nature moving forward. The next part of commercial execution really is around our customers. So how do we manage our key accounts? How do we plan effectively? How do we review the business with them in a bilateral, two-way fashion? What are the business rhythms that we establish with our key customers? And you see several customers listed there that are more North American or US in nature, but this is a regional activity we want to engage in. We had some great meetings, which I would say were of the strategic planning nature with Home Depot, Lowe's, and Grainger recently at the CXIC. That's part of a year-long rhythm that we want to establish with those customers and a dependable, consistent, reliable touch point with customers to make sure that we're holding each other accountable for our strategic plans. The next page talks about operational excellence. I think this is one of the most discussed topics in our company and within our business. There's really two elements here for me. It's the sales forecasting, S&OP, service to our customers. How are we filling those customer orders and planning effectively in our business and with our customers to deliver product at the right place at the right time? And we have a lot of work to do here. Our fill rates need to continue to improve so that our service can improve and ultimately our inventories can go down. That's the way the model and the function works. We have a lot of work to do there, but we've made a lot of good progress and we're on a good path. It's going to take everyone's effort to bring that to life. And then the second part is sales enablement. So how do we provide our teams with the right tools, the right technology, the right resources to go serve those customers more effectively, and to really be the partner of choice for all of our customers. The last part really is focused on people. This is our learning and development model. These are our systems where we bring our training, we bring our resources to our teams, and we educate, inform, teach them about our model and how we bring that to life in the marketplace. Again, I think investment in our people, whether you're at the opening part of your career, the entry part of your career, mid-career, or late career, is going to be important to us moving forward. And we've made some good progress already with some external vendors and some external partners who are going to help us bring this more to life. So those three areas, commercial excellence, operational excellence, and our people agenda through our learning and development systems are going to be critical for us moving forward. That's the core of our strategy. You'll hear a lot more about that as we go forward. That was very well received as well by the board, and they're anxious, again, for us to bring that to life and demonstrate acumen in those three areas. All right. With that, another very important part of our business is insights that we take to the external market and insights that we provide and able to grow our business. And Melissa Height's here with us today. Melissa is going to walk us through our insights model and give some great information around this key discipline and function. Melissa, over to you.
Thank you, Jeremy. Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Height, and I am the Director of Strategic Insights here today representing our broader Strategic Insights team to really share with all of us what are insights and how we can use them to drive growth for SBD. Strategic Insights team, we're part of the broader Strategy and Insights team led by Ronit. But within Strategic Insights, part of our team focuses on global brand insights, working closely with Global DeWalt, Stanley, Craftsman, Black & Decker, and the outdoor teams to use insights to amplify innovation, sim projects, partner with global brand and end user target understanding and category management to identify growth opportunities for our core brands. Our regional activation Strategic Insights group, which you see on the screen here, helps SBD to really drive the strategies of win with the pro and grow share in retail. Our team works with you to support the commercial, channel, regional shopper marketing teams with sell-in stories to drive POS, and we partner really closely with our market intelligence team. So the takeaway here is that ultimately Strategic Insights helps to bring deep end user insights to drive our business decisions. So moving to the next slide, that might lead you to ask, what is an insight, which is a question we've gotten. And I think the key takeaway here is that an insight isn't a data or a fact point, but rather insights take a fact and find the deeper understanding of it. The point of insights is to use them to drive the so what behind our research and data so that it can lead to solutions and growth. Moving to the next slide, what do we do with insights? Insights can focus on a lot of different aspects. One aspect could be focusing on our customers or our categories, enabling us to help grow category sales and better partner across our channels. They can also be brand or end user based insights that help SBD drive trial, which means first time purchasing of a product or a category that we sell, and then ultimately drive our end users to loyalty purchasing. The goal capturing that lifetime value of their purchasing, which can be 20x that of that initial one trial purchase. So where do insights come from? The big takeaway here is insights can come from many places and from many different types of people. Hands-on experiences, job site visits, end user immersions, trends in the market, competitor understanding, our own customers or retail partners, or even our own personal experiences. And last but not least, they can also come from research that we run. So in Strategic Insights, we use a variety of research methodologies to support insights development. Some of our studies are more foundational in nature, which tend to be broader and user focused, done annually. One example is what we'll chat about today for a few minutes, the Professional Trades Attitude and Usage Study. But other research we do can be a bit more narrowly defined, could be focused on MPD or really channel-specific research. Still focused on end users, but examples of this could be, really focusing on snowblower purchase process or the Harbor Freight shopper sourcing understanding, or even loyalty program optimization work. And then we also use market intelligence. So understanding how big the markets are by country, by category, what the growth rate looks like, and what the market share of our brands is versus our competition, and how share shifts across retailers and channels. So all of this enables all of us at SBD to uncover, develop, and ultimately action insights. So to give back for the next few minutes, I'll share a high-level overview of some of our foundational research that many folks in our Strategic Insights team have been working on. And you may have already started to see some of these insights. It's known as the Pro Trades Attitude and Usage Study. It's just recently been completed the past few months in the US and UK. So as part of the Win the Pro and Grow Share in Retail strategies, SBD invested in this research to truly understand the performance professional and the enterprise pros. And we really wanted to learn about some of the key specific trades that are really important to our brands: carpenters, electricians, mechanical trade, plumbers, drywall, concrete, framers, and even the buyer that may not be the person using jobs on a tool site, but is making the purchase decisions for their company. So ultimately, in this specific research, we surveyed 1,676 professionals in the US and over 1,100 professionals in the UK. We covered a lot of topics. So we learned about the entry into the trade. Why did they decide to enter the trade? What were some of those influences? We understood the training that they receive and where that's happening. Brand choice influences, purchasing channels, where they're buying and why, as well as the tools that they use most often. So as I mentioned, these insights are being deployed now across many of your teams, the North America marketing team, the C&I channel, our North America retail teams, the global Stanley and DeWalt teams, UK and EMEA region. We shared it with the Grow the Trades team, and even some of these insights were used in the Depot and Lowe's Top to Tops we recently had. But the goal we have is this is a big study with a lot of insights that we can do a lot of different things with. So our team is working closely to try to tailor these share outs to your teams to make sure these insights can be really actionable. Three topics I'll hit on today is first on the left, what we're calling trade snapshots. So these really provide an at-a-glance one slider that helps to dimensionalize each of these professional trades. It could be a demographic profile, their challenges and motivations in the trade, what influences them to enter their trade, and brand choices. So some of the insights that we're starting to glean from this is that the mechanical pros tend to be those most likely to have attended trade school or technical college versus other trades. And why does this data point matter? Well, we also know that 37% of pros say they're still using the Power Tool brand that they began using when they entered the trade. So this means that what they learn and the brands they see early in their career can be really critical drivers to winning these professional sales over that lifetime. So that point of market entry is really critical to drive that lifetime value. Also from these trade snapshots, we understood some of their deeper motivations, which can be a great help for our marketing teams to better tailor their messaging and reach our trades. Example here, when we looked at the concrete professionals, we know that they value what they call uninterrupted workflow, reducing redo work, and it's really critical for them to stay on time. Couple that with the fact that we know that they skew highly US Hispanic, over 40% of them, and they tend to be younger than other trades. So we can use these insights and motivations to both tailor our messaging and how we reach out to them. Last but not least is we know a lot about their trade channel shopping and what we call share of wallet. So this is a way to measure how much of their total tool spending are they spending at one retailer or outlet or with one brand or another. A learning here was that 60% of carpenters are shopping at Home Depot for tools, but they only give Depot 22% of their share of wallet, which showcases an opportunity for Stanley Black & Decker and Home Depot to partner to drive more DeWalt sales and Home Depot sales and kind of win these carpenters' share of wallet by offering the right products that speak to them. We can help do that because we know carpenters' top power tools are drills, circ saws, sanders, table saws, and nailers. And they most frequently use hammers, screwdrivers, tapes, clamps, and manual levels. So this highlights some of the categories that we can bundle and advertise with our promotions and partner with our MPD that SBD may be developing to meet their unique needs. And all of this is worth a lot. We know there are 923,000 carpenters in the US, and they spend on average $4,000 per year on tools. So in summary, these trade insights can really help us optimize our trade spending, focus on the right channel opportunities, and better bundle our SKUs to meet our pros' needs. Moving to the middle section, we also learned, oh, sorry, back one slide. Thanks, Lisa. We also learned that pros are multifaceted and multi-skilled. So about half of pros consider themselves multi-trade. This is especially true of framers and carpenters, where 82% of carpenters and 63% of drywallers work in multiple trades. This is particularly true, sorry, that was framers, 63% of framers. But the trades that they are most common overlapping with are drywall and a general contracting type of role. So this tells us that, you know, there's more that we can do to promote our more powerful technology and full trade solutions, as they might be multi-hat or multifaceted in the work that they take on. Last but not least, on the right side, is we learned a little bit about the roles of the purchase process, particularly with enterprise pros. Buyers of tools can look and value different attributes than on-the-job end users. We learned that these buying agents skew more female, they skew younger, and they tend to be more formally educated versus trade trained. We also learned that they tend to value safety, longevity, quality, and consistency, often more so than price, and really value the established sales relationships they have versus just using digital channels. We also learned about their budget allocation. We know that they spend 45% of their total tool budget on power tools, half of that with battery-powered power tools. So this shows us there's an opportunity to continue to drive that and also drive some growth in some areas like tool storage, where they only allocate on average about 5% of their budget. So an opportunity for us as SBD to better promote storage and organization solutions for the job site, leveraging DeWalt's strength in the category they're spending the most on, being cordless power tools. So in key takeaway, it's really critical that we communicate both to the end user and the buyers as we market our products. So this is just a one slider here that was a brief overview, but I encourage you to connect with your strategic insights partner so we can work with your teams to share more insights that are really relevant from this specific study we talked about today, but the many other sources we have as well. And in closing, we'll just jump to the next slide to give you a taste of what's to come. So next week, we'll be sharing out some insights about the role of search and where Amazon plays in that, both for the pros and the DIYers. We have our next market share quarterly deployment for tools, outdoor, home, and US retail on December 6th. So we hope to see you there. We'll include a preview of the holiday shopping buying predictions as well. And then last but not least, early in 2025, we'll have a look, a double-click look or a deeper look into the professional purchase process, specifically about those influence points throughout the journey where SBD can better meet their needs. So thank you for your time today. And now I'll turn it over to Maria.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to lead our next portion, which is our recognition. As Jeremy mentioned, it's so important that I think everybody on this call recognizes that there's a lot of great successes. These were some of the ones that I think we as a team picked out that really stuck out across all the great efforts. So I have the honor and pleasure of reporting and really talking about the one in CNI that we felt like was one of our biggest ones this past quarter, and it was our Vendor of the Year award from our buying group NetPlus. And this was an absolute team effort across our sales, finance, channel, field leadership team. As you can see in this picture, a joint effort in really driving our brands and our products through this buying group. I had the opportunity to sit with the lead of this buying group. Her name's Jennifer Murphy, in fact, this past week. And her words were pretty simple. Your team just simply sets themselves apart from all of their competitions. They constantly show up for my distributors and they're constantly doing great things for your brands. So on behalf of myself, the CNI leadership team, and the Americas leadership team, congratulations to Travis, Kyle, Brad, Ricardo, Steve, Dave, and all of the field sellers and all of our support functions in channel and finance and ops that help make this happen and help us represent our customers. So congratulations to this team, and I'm going to hand it over.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So from a retail perspective, we heard a lot in regards to Q3 actual results and the great progress made with being nearly flat in retail. But I have to hand it to the team here in October with the performance that the team was able to deliver with just over $518 million in sales, which was up $100 million year over year, outpacing what our op perspective was supposed to be here for this business, and really seeing growth across all major key channel partners. And as you saw, down about 1% in Q3, as we look at year to date, the performance that was delivered here in October puts us into the positive growth overall for retail with plus 4% so far year to date across tools and outdoor on the retail segment. So phenomenal job here by the entire team in delivering unbelievable great results and execution here and getting the quarter started extremely strong. While they were going through chasing all of this down to the entire retail team, we also had some of our biggest key customer meetings that were mentioned earlier in this this session here today. And a phenomenal job here in regards to having Home Depot, Lowe's, both into the CXI Center, as well as TSC, spending time with us getting trained on the tool side of the business. Over 30 key executive leaders from SVPs to merchandising vice presidents and department merchandising managers that had spent some time with us over the course of October, really learning more about our strategies and our partnership. And what I can say is what we heard across all of our key customers was they feel that there is obviously a big shift in regards to the momentum that we've got at Stanley Black & Decker, and excited about the partnerships and where we're going here in the future. Still a lot of work to do, but phenomenal success in regards to pulling everyone together. And a massive thank you to not only our commercial teams on setting this up, but our channel support that we had, the category managers and teams that helped supported it, product teams, the CXIC staff, the SBDU staff, our commercial finance group that also came in and helped support these meetings. It was a phenomenal team effort here and a great way to start the Q4 as well as start 2025 planning. So thank you to the entire retail organization for these great results here to kick off Q4. With that, we'll hand it over to our team in LAG with Adriana.
Thank you, Jeff. Well, it's really an honor to present, this recognition to the LAG team. We just had a session, which we call Simply the Best, where we did all the recognition for all the fantastic work that they are doing. But we came to this session choosing the 3 top groups that are achieving something really extraordinary. So the first group is Brazil, and we want to recognize at this point in time, Ivan and Paulo, for the extraordinary penetration of hand tools and storage on the wall. Congratulations. Second group is basically the Caribbean, Central America, and Ecuador. And this recognition goes to both Edwin Lucas and Roberto Cabrera, who actually they've been able to grow the Costa Rica market by 10%, Guatemala market by 30%, and Trinidad and Tobago by 25%, behind a relentless effort to drive the penetration of our cordless executions, increasing from 29% to 54%. Again, congratulations, Edwin and Roberto. And the last award, last but not least, is Peru. And Peru we're recognizing for the significant progress in the CNI channel as well as in the traditional channel, with industrial channel growing 11.4% in organic growth, with key wins in significant projects like the metro, the airport, and mining, and the traditional channel. And this is very important because the traditional channel in Peru is depressed, but this team is winning share and they're growing 10.7% in organic growth. Of course, you know, it's a teamwork here. We have Tatiana Ramirez, Sueli, Juan, Laura, Juan Villanueva, Alex, Danny, Andre, Jorge, Jose, Claudia, Andre, Pamela, Daniel, and Edson. Really fantastic results. Congratulations. And thank you for the commitment to growth in the region. With this, I pass on to Canada.
Thank you, Adriana. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to take this opportunity to just call out the entire Canadian organization from top to bottom, from demand generation, order generation, order processing, as well as our DC. This effort of the one team environment here in Canada has enabled the Mill Creek DC to reach a milestone in October of shipments of $100.1 million Canadian, which is an all-time record for the DC. Just an outstanding effort across the entire organization, culminating by putting the DC in a position to achieve this milestone. Obviously, very proud of the organization for coming together and achieving this milestone. And it puts us in a fantastic position and validates our plans for the future with regards to where we would like to take the business, to show we have the capabilities and capacity as an organization to reach these kinds of milestones. So again, thank you very much to the Canadian organization. Special thanks to the DC, and well done for the entire team for the month of October. With that, I pass it off to Heidi.
Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I have the pleasure of presenting some really key wins in the marketing organization to support overall new product development priorities as well as commercial priorities. The Q3 and the start of Q4 were extremely busy for the marketing organization, and the vast majority of our spend, in fact, more than 50%, more than 70% of our DEWALT spend was in back half. So we recognize that back half activation is going to drive business results ultimately from a marketing perspective. So just wanted to focus on 3 places. One was the Lowes.com homepage takeover for DEWALT Days. It was the first ever homepage takeover engineered with the Lowe's team. That was a result of great partnership between our shopper team, our commercial digital team, and our performance marketing team to really make sure that we could engage across numerous places and really drove significant results, including 80% increase in landing page clicks and 140 basis points improvements in online conversion rate, which is pretty significant. So congratulations to Brian Frederick, Amber Hamilton, and Mary Kate McHugh for their work on this homepage takeover. The second marketing activation I really wanted to highlight was an activation with the LA Rams. We wanted to create buzz around DXL, and through our deep insights work that Melissa did such a great job talking about already, we were able to identify that MRO is a big opportunity for the DXL launch. So we were able to engage with the LA Rams and the really significant buzz that comes just with SoFi Stadium and some of the other activations that are taking place in LA. Also recognizing LA is a big MRO market, and LA is a very expensive media market. This allows us to get inside that LA market in a totally different way and make it an immersive strategy. Also great results here, more than 6,000 clicks to the DXL landing page, significant engagement in our DXL builder, and more than 3,000 in-person engagements on site at the Rams game. So congratulations to Jen, Taylor, Anastasia, Jordan, and the entire studio team for their work on this amazing activation. And finally, last but not least, I'm going to dovetail with what Alan said as it pertains to the work that the Canadian organization is doing. In particular, I think a lot of folks in this organization know that we've been working really hard to align media campaigns to promotional strategy. Canada was able to do that across all key retailers for the first time in Q3, have a national promotion supported through branded media, digital and in-store and online. Early results are spectacular. 725% increase in point of sale at Home Depot, 560% increases at Rona, and 412% increases at Amazon year over year in terms of point of sale. Congratulations to Matt Markowiak and Christy for their work on executing this amazing promotion around the 100th anniversary. So a big thanks to the entire marketing organization for everything that they're doing. And wanted to pass it off to Matt Reap next to talk about some more exciting awards.
Thank you, Heidi. Good morning, everybody, and congratulations to all those that have been previously recognized on this call. It's truly outstanding work across all the respective regions and teams. From a farm and hardware perspective, when we think back to the previous America's Go-to-Market Town Hall, we had the opportunity and privilege to recognize our corporate national account teams for Mid-States and Ace Hardware for the proud recognition of Vendor of the Year and Vendor of the Show for Ace Hardware. Well, it's only made possible by those efforts in the field and with the respective retailers. So I'm really, really proud of the teams within the field and those recognized here on the page, starting with Costello's Ace Hardware, one of the largest, most substantial, and most influential Ace retailers within the Ace network. The teams turned 180 degrees, turned that business around from a relationship and from a performance perspective. And I wanted to acknowledge the outstanding work by David Panino, Hank Bruckner, Thomas Savetitz, Sean Vieman, the entire Ace national account team, as well as the supporting functions. Truly remarkable work there, and it will prove dividends for us for many years to come, not only within the market, but also at Ace Corporate. From a Mid-States perspective, one of the largest and proudest members of the Mid-States organization, Baumgars, one of the proudest partners of the DeWalt business and Stanley Black & Decker within the market, had an annual sales meeting where they had the opportunity to acknowledge two of our team, our two acknowledgements for Vendor of the Year and Vendor Partner of the Year. I'm really proud of Jay Jelkin in the middle here for being named Do More Vendor Partner of the Year individually for his individual efforts with Baumgars. He essentially has a key to the building and a key to the C-suite from an influence and an execution perspective. One of the most substantial and proudest members of our team, Jay Jelkin, could not be a better recipient of the award, but congratulations to Jay. Baumgars also acknowledged Vendor Partner of the Year award to Cub Cadet. Now, DeWalt is an incredibly proud execution and partner to the Baumgars business, but we were able to, with the support of the greater organization, launch Cub Cadet to the Mid-States business and respectively Baumgars this past year. The Baumgars organization, their 180 store owners, acknowledged our team's efforts, starting with Jim Hodke, Dan Biondi, Jay Jelkin, Corey, Brooke Roberts, and the entire supporting organization for allowing this to be made possible within the market, driving incredible share gain and POS. So incredibly proud of the efforts within the independent retailers and within the farm and hardware team, because the dividends it will pay at the corporate offices is truly unbelievable and will continue to drive the business for many years to come. So congratulations to all. Jeremy, I think I'm passing it back to you.
All right, great, Matt. And thanks to all our presenters there as we went through recognition across 6 different groups and scores of people that are making a difference out in the marketplace and really living our values and really playing out our strategy day in, day out. Next, we transition to our years of service, and we will always try to recognize those celebrating special anniversaries and anniversaries of service here within the company. The first group is our employees celebrating 10 years of service here at Stanley Black & Decker. I want to congratulate Betzavi, Blaine, Brett, Hector, Jillian, Kara, Kimberly, Kyle, Werenika, and Will for 10 years of service here at the